Good morning and welcome to Teal House Farm. This is the unexpected vlog this morning because we have a goat with an injury and we need to get her to the vet soon to see what's going on. Right there is Honey. And you can even see in this, her back leg there, she's not standing on it. And it's pretty swollen. So we don't know if she got bit by something or if she hurt her leg. We came out and looked at it this morning. Couldn't see any sign of injury, so we're worried that maybe her hip is dislocated, which is kind of a big deal and a big issue. So we're going to get her bundled up here and get her to the vet. Let's see if we can find a collar. We keep collars on our other goats, or kept them on our dairy goats. See if I have one laying around. It just makes it a lot easier to grab them when they got a collar on.
You ain't grabbing any of the collars off those goats we butchered. She's the princess.
Let me pull it out. A brief pause while we punish our children for their bad choices. We promise, Ma, the back of the van's clean.
Don't.
I'm not gonna show it. Clean up your mess.
Don't you dare, Mom.
I'm not gonna...
Wait, why do we need to slow down anyway?
Because I gotta bring a goat to the vet, but your back of the van is disgusting, so clean it up.
Oh, no, let's clean the
You wanna see the baby goat? Annie, bring that inside, please.
Baby goat. Alright, little goat. Whoa.
Push it a little farther back. There you go. Okay, little goat, let's go. Herein lies the great conundrum of homesteading and frugal. Well, homesteading is frugal living. I realize that there's a lot of different channels out there and not all of them are necessarily focused on the frugality of homesteading. But there are a lot are. You guys know that we do. We focus on doing more with less and just, you know, making every penny stretch and doing a lot for ourselves so every penny stretches. The problem when you get into large livestock, even though a goat isn't as big as they come, that it's really a game of roulette about whether or not it's going to be a beneficial monetary investment. Because this one goat, I don't know what this is going to cost, but just the office visit for the vet is $80. Okay, the goat was $125 to buy it. It's going to be $80 to see the vet and get a diagnosis. And then if the vet says something needs to be done, that's probably going to be several $100s. So I could easily see us being $500 in on this goat before we've even gotten to butcher, okay? The goat's still got another 4 months to grow out. And so that doesn't just wipe out the cost benefits of raising this goat, it's going to basically wipe out the cost benefits of the entire flock or the entire herd that we have this year. We have a small herd, we have 2 animals. Everything that we raise, if nothing else happens, it's just this one goat and this one injury, we basically are going to maybe break even on what it would have cost to buy the same amount of meat, the same quality animals from somebody else, if we're lucky. And that's where homesteading gets real sticky, because yeah, you could save a lot of money if everything goes right, but everything never goes right. You know, you don't have a large livestock injury every year, but when you do have one that year, you know, your costs are completely upside down then. Like there's nothing you can do to recoup that money. Even if I sold one of our animals instead of keeping the meat for ourselves, you know, you're not going to make that money back up, especially not on a small animal like a goat or a sheep. So it's kind of the icky part of homesteading, at least when it comes to adding livestock. I mean, if we were raising, you know, 100 head of something, selling it all for market, one injury is not a big deal. But when you're raising something, I mean, it is a deal, it's still an expense, but it's not as big of a deal. When you're raising stuff for you, for the idea that you're going to feed your family for less, one injury is a huge deal, and then it ends up being the wrong investment because it actually would have been less expensive just to buy meat for your family than to put the effort in to raising the animal yourself. So we're not 100% sure what's wrong. The goat was fine yesterday. This morning when we were getting ready, we just woke up, looked out the back window, saw them all out in the pasture. The goat was obviously hobbling, but she's still getting along, so she's not in like a horrible amount of pain. But upon closer inspection, it feels like her leg, I think it's her right leg, is swollen up at the top, which is kind of near the hip joint, which is why Sam's wondering if the hip is dislocated. You know, there are other issues. She could have been bitten by a snake. You know, they're in a lot of tall grass in the pasture. You never know. Could just be a really bad contusion. You know, something like that. You know, wouldn't necessarily be an expense. The doctor would just tell us to keep her, you know, quarantined in the barn probably until it heals. But if it is a hip dislocation, like Sam thinks it is, then that's going to be expensive because that's going to mean sedating the goat and putting the hip back in. And I can only imagine that that'll be $300 or $400. So we'll see what the vet says. We have a good relationship with the vet in our little tiny local community. They really do their best to try to keep costs down for you. They also do their best to try to educate farmers, I feel like, because they know that people out here, you know, where we live is just generally a very poor area. A lot of people who are raising animals just are doing it because they're poor and they're trying to do better for their family, and they don't have a lot of money to flush down on livestock care to an expensive vet. So they really do their best to try to also educate you about, you know, giving you what to do at home so you don't have to bring them back again too. So we appreciate that. So we'll see what's going on, and hopefully this isn't a super big problem. Hopefully it's not more than $400 or $500, because then I don't think we can keep the goat, and then I would feel horrible about putting down an animal that was otherwise healthy. But you can't drop $800 or $1,000 on a meat animal. You know, it's not a pet, and so we'll just see what's going on. Okay, it is now about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. We just got a call from the vet. It said our goat's ready to be picked up, so we're gonna go get her and we'll see what's going on. All right, we got her. She had an infection in her joint. We're not quite sure how that happened because she doesn't have any cuts or anything. Theory was it may have been there for a long time and it's just now noticeable. It could have come in through the umbilical cord because she's still only a few months old, but I don't know. So that's kind of crazy. But we got antibiotics, and some like Tylenol for goats. Total cost was
Lots of money.
$226, which isn't as bad as it could be, but it's still a good chunk of change. But she's gonna be fine. She needs to stay quarantined in the barn for a little bit, for a few days, just to make sure it does heal up okay. Keep a close eye on her, make sure she's not overexerting herself, but then she'll be good to keep doing what goats do. You ready to go home?
Yeah, I thought the cost for the goat was gonna be like maybe $96.
96, that would have been nice. No,
Yes.
$226. Let's go home.
Lots of money.
Okay, first things first, we gotta close the paddock. We don't need to keep the goat stuck in the barn, but we do need to keep it in a smaller paddock. So we're just gonna shut this down to just our one small paddock behind the barn and just keep the whole herd there for a few days. There's still plenty of grass back there, they'll be okay. And after a couple days, they can go out on the main pasture again. Okay, everything is all set. We've got pain pills for a couple days. We've got we do have cookies, we made cookies today. 2 antibiotic shots that they need every other day until those are gone. So I think we'll be okay. We'll keep you updated. Hopefully it's no surprises. I will say we have had a goat before that we thought wasn't an infection, it was another issue, but we thought a couple rounds of meds were in the clear, and then the next day it was dead in the field. So we're hoping that doesn't happen here. But all that to say, with livestock, sometimes it's really unpredictable because they can't tell you how you're feeling. The vet's really just giving their best guess as to what's wrong. So hopefully this will be all set though. Thanks so much for joining us today. We will see you all next time.